What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day, the postseason edition. I am Pitching Ninja, and I'm here with the world's biggest Mets fan, Mr. Met, Will Leahey. Will, meet the Mets, step right up and greet the Mets. Will, that's your song, basically.
Midge, it is. Also, I got to come clean. I am a Red Sox fan, first and foremost, but I'm riding the bandwagon hard here. Just took off my Grimace suit. The amazing Mets advanced with another epic late-game homer. But we had other baseball games going on too, Ninja. The other New York team also got a massive late-game home run from one of their stars to seal a huge game in Kansas City. The Padres got absolutely shriveled at home in the biggest game of the season. And Chief Wahoo put a curse on the Guardians' bats for laying him to rest and terminating him and deleting his legacy, Ninja. Where would you like to start here?
We'll start with the first game of the day, Will. We're not going to skip our appetizer. Go to your main meal next. The appetizer is the Tigers beat the Guardians 3-0 to go up in the series 2-1. This was a bullpen game for the Tigers, but what else is new? Absolute pitching chaos. Brand Herter gets the win, going 3 1/3 scoreless innings. He had 1 K on this sweeper. He became the first pitcher to get a win in the playoffs and pitch a bullpen in my basement in the history of baseball.
Wow.
Bo Brisky came in, and I know you wanted to skip over this, Will, but this is your favorite pitcher in baseball. He had 3 Ks in 2 innings, and his fastball at the knees and his slider.
To Bill Brasky!
Another Will-related pitcher, Will Vest, had 1 K in 1 inning, had this 96-mile-an-hour heater at the knees. I still picture you in a vest with no shirt underneath it every time he comes in the game.
Let's keep our fantasies at home, Ninja. But it will happen at some point this postseason if the Tigers keep staying on this magical run.
And lastly, Tyler Holton closed out the game with this fastball. On the Guardian side, Alex Cobb had 2 Ks in 3 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had a splitter and front door 2-seamer. Eric Sabrowski had 2 Ks in 1 1/3 innings, giving up no runs. He had this slider and curveball. And the big Sabrowski is absolutely a dude. Eli Morgan had 2 Ks in 2/3 of an inning, but he did give up an earned run. He had these changeups, and Cade Smith seems impossible to hit at this point. He had this sweeper. The Mets eliminated the Phillies 4-1. Jose Quintana was excellent yesterday, and I know I always say this, but I thought there were some highlights for him too. Like, his stuff was nasty. Like, I always think he's a hard pitcher to feature. He had 6 Ks in 5 innings, giving up no earned runs on 2 hits. Totally brilliant. Had this painted 2-seamer, these changeups, picked up a sword, this slurve and curveball. Just a really good outing from Jose Quintana, proving to be a stud pitcher.
He's been absolutely nails for like a month or two or something now. They showed some stat yesterday. We had like a .66 ERA, I think, in the last bunch of starts. It's insane. And in the most important games, he's just stepped up, as most of these Mets starters have. It's been something to watch, man.
I feel bad because I don't really feature him a lot because he's a hard pitcher to feature. It's because he doesn't throw particularly hard or rely on a ton of movement or have a ton of personality out there. He's just a pitching machine. And I think that's what plays in the playoffs for him. Like, he's just low heartbeat, executes a plan, dominates, and his stuff is actually legit really good. Reed Garrett had 2 Ks in 2/3 of an inning with the splitter and sweeper. David Peterson had 1 K in 2 1/3 innings and had this slider.
He's been absolutely massive too. Peterson, nobody can score runs off the guy.
And Edwin Diaz closed out this game. Was there ever any doubt when Edwin Diaz came in and started throwing that he was just going to blow away?
There was a little doubt.
There's a lot of doubt, Will. I was feeling bad. I was really hoping they didn't have to pull him. Didn't seem to have command, and then dialed it in. Had these 2 heaters for Ks, including his fastest pitch of the year to end the game and eliminate the Phillies, and then gets fired up. All I can say is I'm really happy the Mets didn't jump on him after this last out. Too soon? On the flip side, Ranger Suarez was really good yesterday with 8 strikeouts and 4 1/3 scoreless innings. He had this 91-mile-an-hour painted 2-seamer, but the story of the game for him were these curveballs. He had 10 whiffs on 19 swings on his curveball for a 58% whiff percentage. And here's a couple of home plate views of his curveball. You can see how filthy that is and why he's so tough to hit. But yet, it wasn't good enough because of
the dong of the day from Francisco Lindor. I want to call it the dong of the year for the Mets, but it isn't because they've had like 4 of these absolutely enormous dongs in the last week. But I mean, Lindor, this grand slam, cool as a cucumber, absolutely spanks this ball and acts like he just flew out. Meanwhile, it's one of the biggest home runs in Mets history. He's cementing himself in his own statue already outside of city with what he's been doing. There's nothing that you can say about this guy. And to be honest, just these Mets in general. The best team in baseball since early June. As a skeptical Met fan, I kind of always just been fearful the whole time. But this Grand Slam Ninja was all the Mets needed. And all she wrote is they won this game 4-1 off Lindor's bat.
I love watching this guy play baseball. He's smooth, the chillest dude ever. You watch him, he doesn't show any emotion, acts like he's been there before, does his job. I love emotion in the game. I also love a guy like this who takes the flip side of it and is just the chillest assassin. And Chipper Jones called him out for exactly that. Like Chipper gave him props. Chipper's a closet Mets fan, I think.
And Ninja, yeah, I mean, to his chillness, the guy comes out to My Girl at Citi Field. It's absolutely electric. Everybody's singing, and it's such a nice break from all the reggaeton / arbitrary country music / random rap hits. Coming out to My Girl, it's like, why doesn't everybody just choose Motown songs?
The Yankees beat the Royals 3-2. Clark Schmidt had 4 Ks in 4 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had this cutter, sweeper, and curveball. Here's an overlay of his cutter and sweeper. You can see how those pitches work together. Tommy Kahnle had 1 K and 1 1/3 scoreless innings in relief with his changeup. On the flip side of this game, Seth Lugo had 2 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs on only 2 hits. He had his elevated cutter and his curveball with over 3,300 RPMs. Here's an overlay of his fastball and curveball, and you can see what that high spin rate curveball does when paired with a fastball. It just drops right out of the plane. Very, very fast. And then Brady Singer also got a sword in this game, or not a sword, against Aaron Judge. You let me know your thoughts on this. I don't see this as a swing. Of course, we don't even really know what a swing is. In the rule book, it just says basically an intent to hit the ball. Then again, if Judge hit this, it would have gone 450 feet probably.
This was the artist formerly known as Mike Stanton game, Ninja. Stanton with a triple shy of the cycle and the game-winning home run. He will always be a feared bat because, I mean, he is the king of exit velo. He hits the ball harder than maybe anyone in baseball history. And if he keeps playing this well behind Judge and Soto, I mean, the Yankees are just more formidable than they've been all season. Also, Ninja, where is Bob Costas sitting?
3-2 pitch, hit down the left field line. Line drive, base hit to center field. It was smothered out there. I don't know if it was caught.
It was caught.
Oh my gosh.
He never knows what's going on. I'm not usually one to shit all over play-by-play guys, but it has been an absolute abomination, and he never knows where the ball is. He's just constantly wrong and making an absolute fool of himself, and the internet's letting him have it, and I'm here for that because he stinks.
I'm going to give him props, and then I'm going to take them away. Bob Costas knows more about baseball history than nearly anybody. Unfortunately, at this point in his career, he is not a very good play-by-play guy. I originally got on him because I think he's a bit of a homer. He's a Yankees homer, but he's just not a good announcer, period. And shame on TBS for having him there. Like Ron Darling, good announcer. Ron Darling's great. Watched him all year.
Darling doesn't even know what to do out there because
Right.
I love Darling during the season. I think he's been bad too because he doesn't know how to interact with Costas. It's a truly poor broadcast. And there's so many great, I mean, get Gary Cohen out there next to Darling or Don Orsillo, Jason Benetti. There's so many epic play-by-play guys that it just stinks.
This ends our broadcast of awful announcing with Will Leahey, Pitching Ninja. Lastly, the Dodgers executed a perfect bullpen game by winning 8-0 over the Padres. Everybody pitched. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Brazier opened the game with 1 K and 1 1/3 innings with a slider. Kopech had these flames and then sent Fernando Tatis to the dirt with this up and in heater. Do you think this was on purpose, sending a little message? Because the Padres were kind of crapping on Kopech in the dugout. I think in a previous game, Machado said like he sucks or something like that. They had video of that.
Yeah, I think you sent a little bit of message, and I love to see it, Ninja. Also, especially yesterday, I flippantly said some of Machado's base running. I called it Bush League, kind of joking. Padres fans acted like I spit in their mother's faces. I didn't realize how offended people could possibly get from the term Bush League, and I can only imagine how offended those people were watching their team last night.
If you're commenting on Will's comments, I agree with you. As I said on the show, I thought it was legit. Pour it on Will. Pour some hate on him.
Ninja, you're scum just like Machado.
Blake Trinan picked up a K with this wicked sweeper. And here's an overlay of his sinker and sweeper. And again, these things look like they cross twice or double cross. And Alex Vesia picked up 2 Ks on his sliders. On the flip side of this game, Dylan Cease pitched on short rest, had 1 K in 1 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs. Just not a great outing from Dylan Cease. Jeremiah Estrada was kind of a highlight for the Padres pitching with 2 Ks and 1 1/3 scoreless innings with these fastballs and picked up a sword. And then I kind of love this. Ohtani getting thrown out at the plate because this ball hit off the umpire. And I love Ohtani's reaction after this because I think he gets upset. You look at him in the dugout, basically cussing out the umpire here. Little mean side to Shohei.
Ninja, Mookie with another homer here. He goes 4 of 6 after going 0 for 22. I mean, he is a monumentally crucial bat in the lineup. Shohei with a big RBI too early in the game. I mean, this series is just incredibly sexy. These two teams with the amount of animosity, Southern California hate, and just stars galore throughout the lineups. I cannot wait for Game 5, and I have no clue who's going to win.
And now my Pitching Ninja moment of zen. It's Tarek Skubal going for the Pitching Ninja t-shirt Triple Crown to top off his pitching Triple Crown. My picks of the day today, I'm going to start out with Garrett Cole for 5 Ks or more. Then I'm going to take Juan Soto for 2 or more total bases and top it off with Tanner Bybee for 5 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?